If you've ever felt overwhelmed by essential oils, wondering which ones are safe for kids, how to dilute them properly, or if they're too strong for your skin, you are not alone. Hydrosols, sometimes called floral waters or distillates, are the gentle and water-based counterpart to essential oils. They're produced during the steam distillation process and carry many of the same therapeutic properties as essential oils, but in a much gentler form. This is exactly why I love hydrosols. Unlike essential oils, which require precise dilution and caution, especially with children, hydrosols are ready to use straight from the bottle. That means no measuring, no mixing, and no second guessing whether it's safe. This makes them a wonderful option for babies, the elderly, pets, and anyone with delicate skin or skin sensitivities. They're also perfect for those who simply want a more subtle yet effective approach to natural wellness.
If you're going to learn about using essential oils safely, get your information from someone who doesn't profit from selling them. Leah Jacobson is an essential oil safety expert with the honor of educating over 1 million health-conscious families on safe remedies for themselves and their loved ones. Welcome to Using Essential Oils Safely with Leah Jacobson.
Hydrosols can be used in so many ways. Facial toners, wound sprays, cooling mists, emotional support sprays, and even in cleaning recipes. They hydrate and soothe the skin, support emotional well-being, and offer therapeutic benefits without the risks that can come with improper essential oil use. In my years as a certified clinical aromatherapist, I've seen firsthand how hydrosols can simplify and enhance everyday wellness. Whether you're brand new to natural remedies or looking to expand your toolkit, hydrosols offer a safe, effective, and approachable way to support yourself and your family naturally. They're ideal for babies, toddlers, and children with sensitive skin. You can use them to soothe diaper rash, calm bug bites, ease growing pains, cool fevers, or simply freshen the air in your child's room without the risks that come with stronger aromatic preparations. Hydrosols are a wonderful emotional support. A quick spritz of lavender before bedtime, for example, can become part of a soothing nighttime routine. As a certified clinical aromatherapist and a mom myself, I understand how important it is to feel confident in what you're using on your children. That's why I turn to hydrosols again and again, not just for safety, but for their effectiveness. They're incredibly versatile, beautifully gentle, and surprisingly powerful. I'll show you exactly how to use hydrosols for everyday parenting, whether you're just getting started with natural remedies or looking to simplify your routine. You'll find remedies, tips, and guidelines to help support your family naturally with peace of mind. So, what are hydrosols? When plant matter is steam distilled, both essential oils, the oil-soluble constituents, and hydrosols, water-soluble constituents, are produced. Hydrosols contain all of the water-soluble chemical constituents of distilled plant matter. Hydrosol comes from the Latin hydro, meaning water, and sol, meaning solution. Hydrosol indicates any water-based solution, not specifically the type we're discussing here, but it is the word we will be using in this episode. Technically, hydrolate is the most accurate word to use. It comes from the Latin word hydro, meaning water, and late, meaning milk. The milky reference reflects how it appears when it comes off the still. Hydrolate can also be spelled or pronounced hydrolat. Floral water is not a very accurate representation, as hydrosols can be steam distilled from more than just flowers. Aromatic water is an acceptable way to describe a hydrolat, as they are full of aroma. They don't always smell like their essential oil counterpart, however. Some smell better than others. If you find you don't like the aroma of a hydrosol that you acquired for its therapeutic benefit, you can blend it with a more pleasant smelling hydrosol, or make it into a lotion, adding essential oils that you do enjoy. So how are hydrosols made? Hydrosols are made during the steam distillation process of plant matter that produces both essential oils and hydrosols. Steam distillation has a simple yet effective design. A gentle, fog-like steam enters through pipes with small vents located under a grate in the bottom of a large, tall pot containing plant matter. A tightly fitting lid rests snugly on the pot, ensuring the steam makes its way into the tube leading to the condenser. The condenser contains coils inside of which run cold water. This water cools down the steam, turning the steam back into water, hydrolat, and oil, essential oil. Many distillers use a Florentine flask for collecting the water and oil. This container is designed to efficiently separate the essential oil, which floats on the top, from the aromatic water underneath. One drain is located on the bottom of the container, allowing the overflow of hydrosol to flow out during distillation. A second drain is located near the top and is used to decant the essential oil after the distillation is complete. Once complete and the oil is drained and collected, the remaining waters are again drained from the bottom drain. The end result will produce many more times hydrosol than essential oil. It can take an hour or longer to create a gallon of hydrosol, as best results are produced when slowly distilled under low pressure. This gallon will contain 0.2 to 0.8 milliliters of dissolved essential oil, which is not separated out due to its density. Are there any safety concerns with hydrosols? Good question. Essential oils and hydrosols are both products of steam distillation, but their chemical makeup and uses are very different. It is known that there are safety considerations that must be respected when using essential oils. Hydrosols, on the other hand, have very few safety issues. The ones that I mention in my book, Hydrosols, Everything You Need to Know, are as follows. If you are pregnant, it's best to avoid consuming cypress, juniper berry, and rosemary. If you have renal or kidney disease, it's best to avoid consuming cypress and juniper berry. That's it. One of my sources suggests avoiding peppermint for children under the age of 3, but doesn't cite any research. Sometimes people get confused with essential oils. The same source suggests eucalyptus be diluted when used topically or internally for children under the age of 4, but again, doesn't cite a reference. I personally feel this caution is not warranted, but the ultimate decision is yours to make. So when do you use hydrosols? Both essential oils and hydrosols have their place. Generally speaking, hydrosols should be considered first for the following: using on pets, using on children, cuts, scrapes, and wounds, base for making lotion, skincare ingredient, undiluted topical use, consuming either as a water flavoring or for therapeutic use, perfume, linen spray, the list goes on. So what about preservatives and shelf life? Some hydrosols are sold with preservatives. Witch hazel is technically a hydrosol that most of us are familiar with. It contains 14% alcohol, which extends shelf life. Extending shelf life by adding preservatives is a good concept, as hydrosols are mostly water and can spoil in a few months if not properly stored. However, the addition of alcohol can sting on minor cuts and is not something you want in an eye wash. There may be other stabilizers added instead of or addition to alcohol. Do your research. Ask companies what they use, if anything, so you can be properly prepared to use the hydrosols. Refrigerating your hydrosols can extend shelf life. If you don't have room in your food fridge, you can purchase a small dorm-size refrigerator on Amazon. So what are some signs that hydrosols are going bad? Great question. Hydrosols have their own range of expected pH values, which vary from 2.9 to 6.5. Test the hydrosols once you receive them, and then again every 3 weeks. If you start to see the numbers drop, you know the hydrosol is starting to go bad. If you don't want to play the part of a mad scientist, you can look for visual signs of cloudiness, floating bits of growth, or changes in color. So what do you do with hydrosols anyways? There are many ways to use hydrosols in your home and on your body. I'm going to present some ideas, but I'm sure you can come up with more ways to use hydrosols as you familiarize yourself with them. Here's a few ideas. Linen sprays, iron water, makeup remover, facial toner, perfume. Replace the water in your facial mask recipe with a hydrosol. Replace the water in your lotion recipe with a hydrosol. Add 2 baths. So can hydrosols be used internally? Hydrosols contain a higher concentration of volatile substances than herbal teas and are useful for therapeutic benefits when consumed. Some reasons you may want to consume hydrosols: to help soothe digestive issues, such as cramping, diarrhea, and constipation, to calm nerves, to eliminate cellulite, to fight insomnia, to eliminate a headache, to soothe arthritic pain from the inside, to help urinary tract infections. So, can you use hydrosols with your pets? Hydrosols can be added to your pet's drinking water, sprayed on their fur to repel fleas, used in the mouth to combat gum disease, and help with digestive issues, among other uses. They must be diluted first before consuming, adding to water, using in the mouth, with the exception of emergency situations. See my other book, Using Essential Oils Safely with Dogs, for more info. So, are there dilution guidelines for hydrosols? Great question. Hydrosols do not require dilution before topical application. If you prefer to dilute for young children, you can, but it isn't necessary, except perhaps in the cases of peppermint and eucalyptus. Dilution guidelines for internal use vary depending on the reason for use. It must be noted that diluting is more about taste and therapeutic use than safety. Hydrosols can be consumed with little dilution, but they're so effective, there's no reason to use a lot when a little will do. For basic daily maintenance, ingesting 1 to 3 teaspoons per day should be enough. For therapeutic benefits, ingesting up to 3 tablespoons is suggested. Although you can't overdose on hydrosols, there's no need to use more than necessary. If you do feel compelled to use more, listen to your body's urges and do so. This likely won't last more than a few days or weeks, and then you will probably find yourself backing off. Babies old enough to eat solids can ingest a 5% dilution, roughly a half teaspoon in a cup of water. Children up to age 10 can ingest a 10% dilution, roughly 1 teaspoon in 1 cup of water. Children over age 10 can ingest a 25% dilution, roughly 3 teaspoons in 1 cup of water. Hydrosols can help a number of body systems: circulatory, immune, nervous system, skin, digestive system, limbic, and reproductive systems. The general guidelines for using hydrosols for skin issues is to spritz 1 to 3 times directly on the affected area. For non-skin issues, use internally by consuming 1 teaspoon preservative-free hydrosol in a glass of water. To learn more about hydrosols, Aromatherapy's best-kept secret, download the ebook at leahjacobson.com/hydrosols. Enjoy dozens of hydrosol profiles, including this one on lavender hydrosol, and dozens of health issues addressed, such as this one on allergies.